So Adobe brought Figma. Well, if you were using Figma, does this mean this is the end of the world? Let's find out. And if you were using Adobe XD or any of the other Creative Cloud products, does that mean you are going to be able to use Figma now? Let's find out. I was actually working on another video, but this news just came out and this was too important to miss out on. So I am not believing all the hearsay and what's being shared on the news and social media. Let's go directly to the blog post which was shared by the co-founder and CEO of Figma, who is Dylan Field, and let's see what he has to say about this news. So I'm reading this blog post by Dylan Field, who is the co-founder and CEO of Figma. This was just released September 15th, so I guess this is just 2 or 3 days earlier to filming this video. So it's fairly recent. What he said was, today we are announcing that Figma has entered into an agreement to be acquired by Adobe. Whoa. This has been in the works over past few months, and I'm so excited to finally share this news with the world. So they have been in talks with Adobe for the past few months in the background, and now they have finally reached an agreement on how all of this is going to pan out. So does that mean Figma is going to be absorbed into Adobe XD? Or is Adobe XD going to merge into Figma? Figma is so popular and so is Adobe XD. So does that mean Adobe is going to dissolve both of these and create a new product altogether with the best features from both of them? Well, we don't know right now. So if you and your organization have been using Adobe XD or Figma for your design process, what does this news mean for you? If you were using Adobe XD, my guess is that they will keep Adobe XD operational, just because it is part and it's an integral part of the Creative Cloud, and Adobe has invested a lot of resources in spreading the tool and making it accessible for developers, designers, and also students across the world. And so I think they will keep Adobe XD around, and it's pretty easy to use as well. But if your organization was using Figma, what does that mean? Does that mean you need to now change your product altogether just because it got bought by another company? I don't think so. Let's find out. So if I read further, they say that, I understand this is a big change, especially for a platform you rely on every day. So I want to elaborate more on the plans on how this acquisition will work operationally and why I believe this is a partnership that will ultimately benefit you and the Figma platform. So number one is that there is a huge opportunity for us to accelerate the growth and innovation of the Figma platform with access to Adobe's technology, expertise, and resources in the creative space. So he is acknowledging that Adobe is a big player in this space. For example, we will have the opportunity to incorporate their expertise in imaging, photography, illustration, video, 3D, and font technology to the Figma platform. Is he hinting that Figma will grow into this bigger tool that takes advantage of all the good features from Adobe? Additionally, we will have the opportunity to reimagine what the best creative tools could look like within the Figma technology stack. Wow. Is he hinting that they're going to roll out more products in the future? So from this, I'm taking a guess, or I'm predicting that Figma is going to stay along for quite a bit now. And if you are using Figma in your organization for brainstorming with FigJam or even designing, and if you have created and are maintaining those design systems within your teams, I know transferring a product is a huge undertaking and it's very difficult. So my guess is that they will keep Figma at least operational for a few years until they roll out or phase out certain features like Microsoft did with Internet Explorer recently. Do you remember? If it doesn't happen, it's good, right? You can just continue working the way you did. But if it does happen, I think you may want to prepare or sit down with your teammates or your product managers or your scrum masters or who it is that manages your design manager, and discuss how this may affect your organization, and how you can slowly phase out Figma and start using other tools. Now, this is with a big asterisk. I'm not saying that you should do that right away. It's good to be prepared. So if you want to talk to me, or if you have any questions, you can book a call with me to discuss how the process could look like, how you could transfer, what are your options for brainstorming, what are your options for designing, for prototyping, or for designer handoff. Whatever questions you have, if you can book a call with me. The link is down in the description. I look forward to speaking with you and helping your organization transition, if it ever happens, smoothly to another tool, so that your product and your process is not affected. Let's read further. While we have big ambitions on the product side, many other things will remain same for you. Our Friends of Figma program will continue to spreading to new local communities. Recognizing that we are in an unpredictable inflationary environment, we currently have no plan to change Figma's pricing. Okay, so he is addressing that they are not going to increase or decrease or change their pricing. So that's a good thing, at least for now. Finally, all of Figma will continue to be free for education. That's a big deal. Knowing that Adobe is actually very popular for charging monthly subscription, even for students, although they have huge discounts, but Figma is going to be free for education. So that's a good deal. Figma's education offering was a critical part of our conversations, and Adobe is completely aligned on growing the number of designers, developers, or creatives in the world. So they had the agreement under the fact, or this was a clause, that they want Figma to be free for education. At least that this is what it means from his blog post. So it's really great that they were emphasizing so much on keeping Figma free for education. All right, so we spoke about how this may affect your organization, or if you are a student, how it may be affected. Well, we saw clearly that it's not going to be affected if you're a student, so that's good. But if you are an organization and you think your design process may be affected, feel free to book a call with me to talk about what your options are and how to transition, if at all, if it's required, smoothly to a new product. If you are a freelancer or an individual who uses Figma, well, we just read that Figma is going to continue to be operational. My guess is at least for a few years it's going to be. But if you are forced to change your tool, what does that mean? First of all, I want to emphasize that stop panicking. It's not the end of the world. Obviously, these acquisitions keep on happening every now and then. We saw recently Google bought Fitbit. They even bought Motorola. So many acquisitions keep on happening every now and then. So it's not the end of the world. Although I want to point that there may be a slight learning curve if you have to use another tool. All these products that we use for designing, they're just tools. They're so similar that you will get your ground running within no time. So don't panic. It's a small learning curve. Figure out what you need to do if you want to change your product. It's going to be difficult, I understand, and I empathize with you, but I hope that we continue to use Figma as we have been so far, and Adobe does not discontinue Figma altogether. I just hope that, so we have our fingers crossed. But it's always good to actually learn multiple tools and have them under your skill set so that such kind of scenario does not affect you. So I have been using Adobe Xd and Figma and Sketch for so many years now that I can actually switch from using Xd to Figma within like 2 minutes. So it's not a problem for me, and I think you should upskill yourself as well. So that's my takeaway. The first thing is stop panicking. The UX design process is not about using Figma or using Adobe Xd. They are both just tools to help you create beautiful designs and experiences for your users. The UX design process is a much bigger process where visual design is only a small part of it. So if you ever feel like you don't know what to do, the first thing you should do is book a call with me so I can help you figure out what your steps should be, how you can learn other tools, and how to upskill yourself. So feel free to use the link down in the description to book a call. If you have that feeling that I don't know what to do now, that Figma has been bought by Adobe Xd or Adobe. So I look forward to speaking to you, and I say again and again, don't panic. It's just a tool. It's just a news. It's a business. We get it. Just move on. Now, my new video is going to be released very soon. So stay tuned for that and subscribe if you haven't already. I share videos about UX design and just talk about design process. And if you have any questions, feel free to book a call with me so I can help you take your design career to the next level. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.